If you ever run ads with Facebook, then I'm sure you're familiar with what Facebook bans and restrictions are. My story with Facebook has not been the easiest. In fact, I've been running ads on Facebook for about 3 years and it was a huge challenge. I was doing dropshipping, well, still do dropshipping, but I was testing so many products that first year and I was just going for it. It was really challenging, very hard because I couldn't find a winner. And then finally I found my first winner. Shout out to Supreme Ecom who helped me find that. However, once I found my first winner, I was over the moon, scaled it up to 20K. I thought I was unbeatable, unstoppable until Facebook comes crawling in and hits me with a ban. And as soon as it hits me with a ban, it just, all my shop just went down because all my ads were coming from Facebook and I didn't understand why they hit me with a ban. It was so unexpected. And now obviously I understood what I did wrong. However, at that moment, I just felt like this was horrible. How unfair is that? After a whole year of working and finally finding my winner, Facebook comes and challenges me that way. Like, it was unacceptable. And the worst is I kept doing new Facebook accounts, trying to get back into it to, take my winner, to bigger scales. And Facebook kept hitting me with a ban and another one, and there was no solution. I felt like I was stuck. I didn't know what to do at that point. I even invested in a $1,000 course to understand Facebook better and Facebook bans. And I am here today to help you guys avoid all of that. So don't do the same mistakes I did. Take all of that knowledge that I had to go through the hard way and apply it today so you can avoid that. So first and foremost, before I dive into that list of tips and tricks, we need to understand the Facebook algorithm a bit more. So why in the world would Facebook ban people who are spending money on their platform? Basically, their biggest revenue comes from ad spend, and why would they just kick people off like that? So Facebook is obviously a social media first, and they prioritize the customers on their social media. So they have like a set of rules for the algorithm to follow. If that algorithm finds out that, there's something spammy looking, something that is more like a red flag, they would instantly restrict you and ban you. Now that we understand how the algorithm works and why it does what it does, we have to work with the same goal as Facebook. Tip number 1, make sure the profile that you're advertising on is number 1, your personal profile, and number 2, a very old profile. The older, the better. I did this mistake myself. That was the reason I got banned. Very naively, I created a Facebook account just for my shop, and obviously that is not allowed because Facebook wants you to use your personal profile, although the ads will not show that you are advertising specifically, but they need to see that it's a real person. And so if you use a new profile, then they will think you're just, you're completely new, you're not a real person, you're trying to spam, or it's kind of like a red flag because Facebook only allows one profile per user. And if you create a profile today and start advertising today, then Facebook doesn't have this reliability that you're a real person with a real profile and real friends. So basically, we need to establish a trust relationship with Facebook. And having an old profile with real friends and a bit of engagement on that will go a long way. In fact, if you don't use Facebook at all before advertising, try for at least a week to interact with the platform and use it for 2-3 times a day. You don't need to do too much on it. You just need to scroll around, like some pictures, and that's it. As long as the algorithm recognizes you as a real person, you're good to go. Tip number 2, get your business manager verified. This one is pretty easy. You just have to come over here and fill in this business info as much as possible. Make sure you add one person in, just in case you get restricted, you have someone else out there that will, be able to enter that business manager and help you do the different actions you need to do. Also, for your business manager to get verified, you need to turn on the 2FA authentication, and then you will be eligible to have your business manager verified. Facebook will ask you for a few documents, and once you upload those in, you will get an answer in about 24 hours. And especially if you get that verified badge, Facebook will cut you some slack because they know that they have even more documents to have this trusting relationship with you. Tip number 3, make sure you have several cards attached to your business manager. Now listen, I did this mistake myself. I attached a card where I didn't realize, but the card has went into negative and stopped allowing Facebook to take the money that I owed them, right? And Facebook is pretty sensitive. As soon as they realize this, as soon as they see, okay, this person's not paying us, this is a huge red flag. And so what they do, they will restrict you. It's very hard to get back on track with that. So always make sure that you have several cards. Those cards always have money, and Facebook can get their money whenever they ask for it. Because if one day they try to take the money that you owe them, and the card refuses for one reason or another, Facebook will restrict that. So if you have different cards in there, if one fails, the other one will be able to take the charge. Tip number 4, make sure you have a clear photo of your face on your profile. This is very important. Going back to tip number 1, be as real as possible for the algorithm, because Facebook will most likely restrict you at least once to get your ID, which is quite normal. You will have to send in your ID, and then the bot, it's not even a real person, they will take a look with the photo of your ID and they will have to compare it with the photo of your profile. And if your profile has glasses, or if your profile is like a far image, your face doesn't show, it's blurry, you're with a bunch of friends, it might be harder for the algorithm to recognize that, and so they will instantly deny your ID. Tip number 5, don't use more than one Facebook profile per device. So this goes back to the Facebook rule of one person is allowed only one profile, and if they see that there's 4 profiles on your device, they will restrict you because it goes against that policy. Even worse, if one of them is restricted, then they will definitely restrict all the other profiles, because this will go as circumventing policies. And the Facebook algorithm is pretty smart to understand who is going onto this profile from which IP address, from which device. And if they see like just a bunch of profiles from the same device, they will hit you with that ban. Now there are ways around this. You can definitely go into proxies and open profiles on those, which we can cover on another video. However, for the simple rule, just stick with one profile per device. Tip number 6, don't give unrealistic claims. Now that we've covered pretty much everything that Facebook wants on the more like profile side, let's talk about the ads. So if you're giving unrealistic claims in your ads, such as you're going to make $30,000 in a single month, next month guaranteed, you're giving unrealistic claims. Or for example, if you're selling products for acne and you're saying you will get rid of acne completely in 30 days, this is completely unrealistic, because we all know, even though your product or your service is pretty darn good, each person will probably be a bit different and reacts differently to your product. It's not a 100% guarantee, and so doing that and promising false promises, Facebook will not like that at all. Even if you have a great product or service and you know the results it can give to people, avoid using extreme claims in your ads. Tip number 7, no before or after photos. Similar to unrealistic claims, Facebook is not a fan showing your customers before and after photos, because it might trick people and give them this unrealistic expectation. Especially in health and beauty categories, even though you have real before and after photos from your customers, do not publish them on Facebook. Tip number 8, don't be spammy. This one is rather simple. Facebook doesn't like to spam their users, and if you as an advertiser go on their platform and start writing in all capital letters, start putting a ton of emojis, then Facebook will see that as spammy. So anything that screams, look at me, look at me, look at me, a bunch of play buttons, Facebook doesn't like that. Now, even though as marketers, we learn the exact opposite and we want people to really, click on our ad, there's a thin line between what's acceptable and what is not on Facebook. Tip number 9, never use time claims. Time claims such as I lost 30 pounds in 60 days or I went from being broke to making $10,000 a month in 2 months will get you banned on Facebook. It goes back to the idea of giving unrealistic results, and each person will have a different experience with your product or service, so promising that is more like tricking people in the eyes of Facebook. And the next tip is take your time. If you're on day one and you decide to create a business manager, add a person in, create an ad account, create a Facebook page, start running ads, Facebook will see that as a red flag. Because in the eyes of Facebook, day one should be very beginner friendly. You're a complete beginner, you've never advertised before, and so they need to feel that and see that. So take it slow. Every day do one action. Day one, create a business manager. Day two, add a person in. Day three, take it slow, because it's better that you are safe with Facebook than you get instantly restricted and banned, and then it's very hard to get back on track. In fact, before running a sales campaign on a brand new ad account, what I like to do is do like an engagement campaign, some sort of, page likes, especially if you have absolutely 0 page likes, you should get some healthy engagement over there before you dive deep into the sales campaign and start selling people on your service or your product. And by applying all of these 10 tips, you are most likely to stay safe with Facebook because you understood the algorithm, how it works, and now you're not working against each other, but with each other. I hope you guys liked this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave me down a comment below with your experience of Facebook. Was it good? Was it bad? What was your biggest takeaway? And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'll catch you all next time.